Sports Refresh, the weekly show that breaks down all of the most important news in sports for you. I'm your host, Lucky Roberts, and let's get right into it. We'll start off the week with some golf news. The final leg of the three-stage FedEx Cup finished up yesterday. The FedEx St. Jude Championship and the BMW Championship cut the fields of 70 golfers all the way down to just 30, all competed in the Tour Championship over the weekend. The winner of this one was Tommy Fleetwood of England, who just took home his first career PGA Tour win at the age of 34. He's had a successful career overseas, with his international wins dating back to 2011. Despite that, though, he hasn't quite been able to get it done at the PGA level until the Tour Championship. What a massive tournament to win for his first time and his first ever win. Congratulations to Fleetwood. And in case anybody was wondering, the American Scotty Scheffler finished just 4th in this one, a surprising fall after dominating the sport for most of this year. We'll see how he fares next season, as all the major tournaments of the year have now finished up. Let's move on over to some MLB news now, where we'll check in on the best teams and see who's in contention for the Major Player Awards. Standings-wise, the best team in baseball are still the Milwaukee Brewers. They own the best record in the National League by a margin of 5 games, but have slowed down of lately, going just 4-6 in their last 10. A couple of nagging injuries to their better defensive players have affected their performance, but they're still pretty much guaranteed to make the playoffs. The other good teams in the National League include the 76-win Chicago Cubs, the 76-win Philadelphia Phillies, and the 74-win LA Dodgers. In the American League, the Detroit Tigers are still fighting with the Toronto Blue Jays for the best record. Detroit is in the lead right now with 78 wins, while Toronto is close behind with 76. The Houston Astros are also having a strong season with 72 in the AL West. If you want a more in-depth breakdown of the standings, check out last week's episode. Now let's check back on the top candidates of the MVP award. In the American League, the race is still close between Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees and Cal Raleigh of the Seattle Mariners. Both are potent offensive players, but Judge is currently in the lead. He's looking for his 3rd MVP in 4 seasons. In the National League, they also have an MVP candidate who's been winning MVPs for years and years. You know his name. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers has already ran away with this award last time we checked in. But the odds have shifted a little bit since. Looking to win his 3rd straight MVP, which has only been ever done before by Barry Bonds. The only player that could possibly steal this award from him now is Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies, who sprung onto the MVP scene of recently. As for the Cy Young Awards, the American League race is incredibly close right now between the Tigers' Tarik Skubal and the Boston Red Sox' Garrett Crochet. The two lefties have been battling it out all season, but Skubal still sits in the lead, looking to win his 2nd straight. In the National League, Paul Skeens of the Pittsburgh Pirates continues to hold a strong lead. Per Sanchez of the Phillies is within a strong striking distance of Skeens in the odds race, but right now Skeens is still the favorite to take home his first ever Cy Young. Let's move on to some European football news. Of all the 5 major leagues have officially kicked off now. We'll start in the Premier League, where 3 teams remain undefeated: Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham. Tottenham is the most surprising start of this group, as they just barely avoided relegation last season with a record of 11-5 and 22 losses. We'll see if they're able to keep it up for the rest of this season. In La Liga, there's still 5 undefeated teams battling for the top spot: Villarreal, Barcelona, Getafe, and Athletic Bilbao. We see a smaller club starting off the season strong. Getafe ranked just 13th last season, and it's great to see them battling out with the Giants for first place very early on in the season here. In League 1, there are still 4 undefeated teams: Lyon, Strasbourg, Toulouse, and the reigning champion winners, PSG. They were the champions of the Champions League last year as well. There aren't too many surprises in these standings so far, but the main thing to watch is if PSG can continue their dominant streak, barely losing any games last year. The league by 20 points last season, so there's no doubt they're the team to beat. Bundesliga matches just kicked off 3 days ago, so each team has only played 1 match so far. The most dominant showing in those matches was no doubt Bayern Munich pummeling Leipzig 6-0 thanks to a hat-trick from star Harry Kane. Leipzig finished 7th in the last year's standing, so they're nothing to laugh at. That makes Bayern's win that much more impressive, as they are similar to PSG and they are just dominant each and every year. They're off to a really hot start this season. Similarly to Bundesliga, Serie A has only had 1 match day so far. Make sure to check back into the refresh next week for some more updates on the Serie A and the rest of the European leagues. Moving on to some tennis news now. The US Open kicked off yesterday, making the start of the final Grand Slam of the season. All of the world's top players will be competing, including Jannik Sinner, who had to leave his last tournament finals due to illness. It will be exciting to see him back on the court and hopefully as healthy as possible. There's already been an upset though on the men's side as number 13th Daniil Medvedev took a shocking loss to unranked Benjamin Bonzi in round 1. Despite Medvedev's low seeding, he's been known to perform well on hard courts like that of the US Open. So he was a lot of people's underdogs pick to even win the US Open, but that's been proven wrong pretty quickly. On the women's side, there's also been a big upset as 6th seed Madison Keys took a loss to the unranked Renata Zazura. Keys has had a strong year thus far, so this loss is a shocking one, but this stuff happens in tennis. Make sure to tune into the refresh in the coming weeks to see the updates on that tournament and as the finals go down on September the 7th. And for the last piece of sports news, F1 is back in action with the Dutch Grand Prix. It goes down Sunday and kicks off the final 10 races of the 2025 season. Come back to the refresh next week for the results. That's it for this week's episode of the Shutter Sports Refresh. I've been your host, Lucky Roberts, and I hope you learned something today. Check me, Shutter Sports Media, and the writer for this episode, Finn Noel, out on Instagram right here. Thanks for watching.